The emotional capital advantage millionaire moms already used. The coffee had gone cold again. Another morning balancing the noise of the house and the quiet question she kept avoiding. Can I really build something of my own? The breakfast dishes were still in the sink, and somewhere between the school lunches and the laundry pile, she felt herself disappearing. She wasn't chasing millions, just freedom. The kind that fits between nap times and school pickups. The kind that whispers back when the world tells you that motherhood means putting everything else on hold. But here's what no one tells you about building wealth as a stay-at-home mom. It's not about having more time or more money to start. It's about recognizing the invisible currency you've been earning all along. She didn't know it yet, but she was already rich in something most entrepreneurs spend years trying to learn. Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began, as if the desire to create, to earn, to build was somehow selfish. She'd hear it in the comments from relatives, see it in the eyes of other moms at pickup. Isn't being a mom enough? But the rent didn't care about guilt, neither did the credit card bill. So one morning, after scrolling past another success story that felt impossible, she asked herself a different question. Not how do millionaires do it, but what do I already have that they don't? The answer didn't come from a business book, it came from the mess on her kitchen table. 3 kids, 5 appointments, 2 birthday parties, a grocery list, and a mental calendar that would make a Fortune 500 CEO weep. She was orchestrating chaos every single day, and she was good at it. That's emotional capital. The ability to read a room, anticipate needs, solve problems before they explode, and keep everyone moving forward even when you're exhausted. Wall Street calls it soft skills. Millionaire moms call it Tuesday. According to recent studies, small home-based businesses led by women are growing 40% faster than other segments, proof that clarity often beats capital. These aren't women with business degrees or venture funding. They're women who learn to negotiate with a screaming toddler and win. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally clicking. What would you have done in her place? She started noticing patterns. Every time she calmed a meltdown, she was practicing de-escalation. A skill crisis managers charged thousands for. Every time she planned a week of meals on a tight budget, she was doing financial forecasting. Every time she got 3 kids out the door on time, she was running operations. The skills weren't missing. They were just dressed in yoga pants instead of a power suit. But knowing you have value and monetizing it are 2 very different things. That's where most moms get stuck, not in ability, but in translation. How do you turn empathy into income? How do you sell listening? How do you package the intuition that keeps a household running? Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. Maybe success just wasn't meant for someone like her. Maybe the moms making 6 figures online had something she didn't. Connections, confidence, a prettier Instagram feed. Maybe she was fooling herself thinking she could compete in a world that didn't even see her labor as work. She almost gave up until one message changed everything. It was from another mom. Someone who'd bought a digital template she'd created on a whim, a simple meal planning tracker she'd made to survive her own chaos. The message said, "This saved my sanity this week. Thank you for seeing what we actually need." That's when it hit her. She wasn't selling a product. She was selling understanding. Emotional capital isn't just about managing emotions, it's about recognizing them, naming them, and building solutions around them. Every successful product, every viral service, every business that lasts starts with one question. What does someone need that they can't articulate yet? Moms answer that question every single day. We feel the tension before it becomes a tantrum. We spot the exhaustion before it becomes burnout. We sense the unspoken need, and we fill it often before anyone even knows they needed it filled. That's not a soft skill. That's market research in real time. Disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and does not replace consultation or assistance from a professional. Always consult a qualified professional for any questions related to finance, business, or investments. She started small, not because she lacked ambition, but because she understood something most new entrepreneurs don't. Momentum matters more than scale. She didn't need a perfect website or 1,000 followers. She needed one person to say yes. So she posted her meal planner in a Facebook group. $5, 10 downloads the first week, 20 the next. She wasn't getting rich, but she was getting proof. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress, it looks like staying. Staying consistent when no one's watching. Staying curious when the algorithm ignores you. Staying gentle with yourself when the numbers don't move. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos. It felt like possibility. Here's what the millionaire moms figured out that everyone else is still learning. Emotional intelligence is the most undervalued business asset on the planet. In a world drowning in automation and AI, the ability to feel what someone needs, to speak to their fear or hope or exhaustion that can't be replicated. And mothers have been doing it for free since the beginning of time. But there's a shift happening. Women are realizing that emotional labor isn't just labor, it's leverage. The same skills that keep a family functioning can build a business, negotiate a deal, or create a movement. Empathy isn't weakness. It's competitive advantage. She wasn't naive. She knew that turning emotional capital into actual capital required more than good intentions. It required systems, consistency, and the willingness to be visible even when visibility felt terrifying. So she learned not from a Harvard MBA program, but from YouTube tutorials at midnight, from podcasting while folding laundry, from testing, failing, adjusting, and testing again. She treated her business like she treated her kids, with patience, persistence, and the stubborn belief that progress counts even when it's invisible. And slowly, things shifted. The meal planners led to a budgeting course. The budgeting course led to coaching calls. The coaching calls led to a small, loyal community of women who saw themselves in her story and wanted to write their own. She still wasn't a millionaire, but she was free. Free from asking permission to spend money on herself. Free from the guilt of wanting more. Free from the belief that motherhood and ambition couldn't coexist in the same body. What would you have done in her place? Here's the part no one talks about. Building wealth as a stay-at-home mom isn't just about the money. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself you thought you had to bury. It's about showing your kids that growth doesn't stop when responsibility begins. It's about proving to yourself that you are still becoming, still evolving, still capable of more than survival. And that shift, that internal transformation, is worth more than any bank balance. But let's be practical. Emotional capital alone doesn't pay the bills. You need structure, tools, and a plan that fits into the margins of your life. That's where most moms give up, not because they lack talent, but because they lack a bridge between idea and execution. What helped her the most wasn't just learning the strategy, it was finding tools that didn't require a second degree to use. Simple systems that turned her scattered ideas into something real. A planner that actually worked for chaotic schedules. A course that didn't assume she had 8 hours a day to hustle. She tested a few tools before finding what truly worked, and honestly, it changed everything. Not because it was magic, but because it removed the friction between intention and action. This isn't a promotion, just something that made her path a little lighter. She'll leave the link below if you want to explore it. Because the truth is, most moms don't fail because they're not smart enough or driven enough. They fail because they're trying to build a business with a blueprint designed for someone without kids, without caregiving responsibilities, without the constant pull of 100 other priorities. The millionaire moms who make it aren't superhuman. They're just using a different playbook. They're not waiting for perfect conditions. They're building in the cracks. 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Voice memos instead of polished videos. Rough drafts instead of perfect launches. They've learned that done is better than perfect, and that messy action beats pristine paralysis every single time. They've also learned to stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for charging what they're worth. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop apologizing for being both a mother and a human being, with dreams that existed before kids and will exist after. She breathed, and for the first time in years, it didn't feel like she was holding her breath, waiting for permission. The business grew, not in a straight line, but in spirals, forward, backward, sideways, then forward again. Some months were good, some months were survival mode, but the direction was clear. She was building something that was hers. And on the hardest days, when the doubt crept back in, and the numbers felt too small, and the progress felt too slow, she reminded herself of something a mentor once told her. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to get where you're going. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress, it looks like staying. Here's what she wishes someone had told her at the beginning. Your emotional capital is real. Your intuition is valuable. Your ability to read people, anticipate needs, and create connection is not a soft skill, it's the skill that every major brand is desperately trying to replicate with data and algorithms. You already have what most entrepreneurs are paying consultants to teach them. You just need to stop undervaluing it. And when you do, when you finally see your labor as legitimate, your skills as marketable, your story as valuable, everything changes. Not overnight, not in a viral moment, but in the quiet accumulation of yeses. One client, one sale, one person who says, "This is exactly what I needed." That's how empires are built. One connection at a time. When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot, because this time, she wasn't rushing. She was building a business that fit her life instead of demanding she abandon it. Building wealth that didn't require her to sacrifice her presence. Building proof that motherhood and ambition aren't opposites, they're allies. And maybe that's the real secret the millionaire moms already know. You don't have to choose between being present and being powerful. You don't have to wait until your kids are grown to start becoming who you were always meant to be. You don't have to shrink to make room for everyone else. You just have to start. Messy, imperfect, scared, but start. Because the world doesn't need another perfect launch. It needs your specific understanding, your exact empathy, your unique way of seeing what's missing and filling the gap. That's emotional capital. And it's worth more than you think. Tell us what part of her story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.